Travel Trouble by Firestations is included as part of this month's Postmap Club mail-out, and is a single taken from their forthcoming album, Thick Terrain, which is out on July 14th. There's a whole bunch of shows that the band are playing as well. Well, actually, I can think of two, but I'll tell you about those two shows.
Bunch of two.
A whole bunch of two shows that we will inform you about straight after this next segment, which... Return of the Gasp. Oh my God. It's an interview with three members of Firestations. The three members being Mike, Laura, and Laura, and Martin.
Mike, Laura, and Mike again.
Mike, Laura, and Mike, and Martin. And they tell us all about the making of... Well, they'll tell us all about their lives in Firestations and the making of their brand new album, Thick Terrain. Here they are.
We won't crack those smiles this time. We'll just leave ourselves wide open. It's only 100 seconds.
Hello, I'm Laura. We are Firestations. Who are you?
I am Mike.
I'm Martin. Hello.
There's two others that aren't here, Tom and Neil. We are currently in Walthamstow in North East London in our flat. And what have you been up to today? I've been on strike, fighting the power. What have you been up to?
I have been fighting the power in my own way by learning how to play Buckets of Rain by Bob Dylan in open E tuning with some pretty tricky finger picking.
Whilst working from home.
Whilst also working very hard from home. Yes.
Yes. Well, we rehearsed last night, and then I had my big show on Six Music last night. It was a bit cloudy.
Ooh.
The Freak Zone playlist. So I've just been reposting that all day and walking my little dog.
Ah,
That's what I've been doing.
lovely.
Well done.
Where's the joy? Is it over? Where is the joy? Still undercover.
Mike and I have been making music together for a really long time, and Firestations kind of emerged really from the ashes of an old band, Dark Captain, Light Captain, and then has evolved since. We've had a few lineup changes over the years, but our current lineup is the three of us: Tom, who plays drums, Neil, who plays bass and viola, and recently our dear friend Giles, who used to play bass, has moved up north, so he's no longer with us in the band, but we're pretty solid. I think it's sounding pretty solid. We miss Giles, but see you, Giles. No, we miss Giles. But we self-released our first record, Never Closer, way back in 2014,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so.
Then we met Lost Maps, who kindly put out The Year Dot. And then during the pandemic, we released quite a lot of stuff. We did Dream Home, which was an experimental 77-minute long song on Where It's At, Where You Are. And then we also did Automatic Tendencies, which was a 3-piece EP series with like expanded merch collections and strange objects that mixed up with my art practice. And we got friends to do covers and remixes and things. It was a bit like more experimental and very fun. And then the new record that's coming out on the 14th of July is Thick Terrain. And yeah, we're very excited about that.
We've gone back to basics.
Back to basics, getting to the roots of it.
I guess the thing that ties it together is, somewhat obviously by my songwriting. I'm the main songwriter in the band, and it's always had the kind of focus of typically songs written in the third person. I've always had trouble with confessional sort of songwritery stuff. I've always wanted to kind of take it into a more conceptual place, sing with an idea in mind.
Hiding your truth.
Hiding my truth behind
Layers
of deception. And
Subterfuge.
yeah. And I feel like it's tightened up over the years, my kind of process. I guess I've been doing it for about 20 years, give or take, and it's tightened up. My songwriting has, I think, improved through those times, just through the experience of doing it more and more. I know what I like, I suppose, these days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Know what I
I
like.
know what I like. I've got a yes, no, and a maybe folder. three different folders. There's lots of stuff in the no folder. There's a little bit of stuff in the yes folder and a little bit of stuff in the maybe folder. So it's quite hard to.
Critical and discerning.
That's your words, not mine.
In the pandemic, I think the process shifted a bit. I feel like you two collaborated quite a lot.
We did, yes. That was really welcome at the time, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did lots of co-production, and I brought some of my own sort of electronic stuff in a bit more.
And that's back around on the new record, hasn't it? There's quite
a bit. I'm playing some synths and things like that on it, but live I just play guitar.
Yeah, I think we've kind of come out of that slightly more experimental time that we had during the pandemic, and it's always nice to try different things at different times. So this is much more of a kind of like concise 10-track album.
I feel like after the pandemic, we were quite
indeed.
keen to get stuck in, weren't we? Like we rehearsed really hard, and we were just
to be
just
more
excited
of a
to be back together again after kind of the shake-up of how we were working remotely for that time. So I feel like it's just been a bit of an explosion of crack on this recent record.
Yeah.
It's felt quite intuitive, I think. I don't think we've overthought it. It's just felt very, crack on sort of thing, for want of a better phrase.
Disconnect the dots. It's not easy to give them what they want. Disconnect the dots. It's not easy. Where it starts is where it goes.
So the new album,
We went to Otterhead Studios near Rugby, run by one of our friends.
our friend Oscar runs Otterhead, and it was Ellis that helped us a lot as well, who was absolutely on it, on the desk. And we were excited that we were the band that came in just before N-Dubs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, it was very fun. There was quite a lot of experimenting in the studio, and I think because we were so well rehearsed, we just got cracking, and it sounded pretty great straight away, really. But it meant there was lots of time to play around as well, and also to do all the vocals and do some extra bits that we hadn't anticipated before we went. So that was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time where we've come away from a recording session, which was only 4 days, with everything, really,
Pretty much.
which was great for me, because normally I come home and
It drags on for months.
I could be accused of being a perfectionist when it comes to like recording vocals and stuff at home. So it was nice to have everything in the bag, so to speak, and then we just got on with it. So
It was much easier to do the vocals there.
yeah,
Less distractions, and like it felt more focused, and I think we got better performances as a result of that.
yeah. And things like there was a piano there, all the equipment there is amazing. You know, we've been there before, but it was much more sort of focused this time, I think. And as a result, I personally had a lot more fun doing it, I think.
Yeah, it was good.
We're staying silent for this one. Bracing ourselves for rejection.
Travel Trouble, that is a song which is it's quite typical of my songwriting in some ways, in other ways not. Like, it's quite a political song, but it's sort of, again, layered. So it's got stuff about the mundanity of just travel issues, mundane issues within this country, and then kind of against commuting and things like that in London, which can be a real pain in the bum, but, you know, against the kind of migrant crisis that's happening in the Mediterranean and in the Channel and everything at the moment, and the government response to it that we have in this country, which is woeful and completely on the wrong footing, I think. So it's kind of got that political backdrop as well, and it's fun to sing that one, isn't it?
It came out on the World Refugee Day.
It did, yeah.
And that's exactly what the song's about. So that felt like a nice bit of synchronicity. Refugees welcome.
We are ready, sailing at midnight. Keep it steady, the moon burns so bright. Travel, I want what you want.
The song Hillcrest Static, it was originally called River Underground, and when Mike wrote that one and the lyrics for that one, there was quite a lot of synchronicity between the words that you wrote and an art project that I was doing at the time with my friend Philip for the Quinton Blake Centre for Illustration. It was all about the new river, but as part of the research for the project, I was looking at underground rivers in London and trying to like follow the path of the Fleet and the Walbrook and just trying to imagine the city 500 years ago, really, and how much it's changed. But it's not called River Underground anymore. It's called Hillcrest Static because we live on a hill and there's an underground river here, which we only found out about last year because there was a massive flood. So that was a surprise.
It's nice to kind of imagine, I think, the kind of what is underneath a city. It's quite a sort of fantastical thing that you get in your head, like everything that was before is still there. And so like the white noise of a river that you maybe hear in the distance through a drain, maybe on the road, it's still kind of there. And it was written when you did that project, which was also just after the pandemic. Spent a lot of time at home dreaming about other places, you know, sort of mysterious places.
And I think that's actually where the title Thick Terrain, which is the name of the record, I think that's where it came from, because it's quite a lot of the thinking behind that phrase, thick terrain, is about landscapes or places that you can't access, whether real life places or introspective places that you can't access, like personal terrain. I think that song captures what the title of the record's about as well.
Yeah.
I remember standing next to a drain, like with the Zoom recorder, like you could see the River Fleet like under the drain, and I was just recording it.
I think it was a fatberg.
It's a fatberg.
Oh, the sweet sound of the fatberg.
Sludging along.
The trees, the cars, and the buzzing light. That white noise sound is a river underground, still flowing now.
Stillness is the last song on the album, and it originally was like a really sludgy 13-minute grunge fest. It was really fun to record, and we like did a few takes of it just because we were having so much fun. It's not as long as that on the record, don't worry. I think it's like 7.5 minutes or something. It just evolves. It was really immersive to record it, and hopefully that's the experience that people get from listening to it too. It's not that still, it's quite chunky. But I think it comes from a place of stillness. Like your idea for it was still, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it kind of starts with the words, a cipher coming in, echo on the line. And it's kind of like how it's very hard to find personal stillness, you know, having attempted meditation and things like that. You know, there's always noise in your head that's quite hard to escape from. So it's kind of like a bit of a personal prayer asking for some more of that stillness.
And like hyper real as well. Like those moments that you talk about, that like how sometimes things just seem really weirdly real.
Yeah, I mean, there's that time that was kind of inspired a bit of the lyrical content as well, which was when I was in Norwich on a bus in the city centre looking at a cathedral against a kind of very vivid blue sky. I like the idea of hyper-real because it's not surreal. It's not based in kind of otherworldly stuff. It's something that's like so present that you cannot escape it, and it kind of roots you in the moment. And I think that's part of what meditation and that kind of idea of that we're talking about in the song, that's kind of what we're going for. And it's very noisy at the end of the song, but there's something about that.
Noise blocks it out there, I think.
Yeah.
Like we went to see a band recently in Brighton called Nod, who are absolutely brilliant. If you don't know them, check them out. But it's so loud, like ear-bleedingly loud, and really chunky and really repetitive. It sort of felt like meditation. Like the gig was so unstill but it is still because you can't think.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
I got like watching Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Johnson, the band Boris. I think that's an absolute banger, and we might play that at the Shacklewell Arms if you happen to be in London on the 15th of July, which also happens to be my birthday. So if you're coming, do bring me a present. But no, we're going to play that, I think.
Are we going to have jelly?
Out. Yes, there can be jelly. The album art for Thick Terrain has a spoonful of jelly on the cover, which kind of mirrors the line of a mountain. I collaborated with our really good friends, Chin, who actually used to play drums for us, Keela Tornero and Emma Tornero. So they have an amazing collage, playful way of making images. So they made this beautiful like jelly mountain, and we worked together on it. Very fun. So yeah, there might be jelly, but it needs to be like massive, like a mountain. So I don't know if I've got a fridge big enough, but come to the gig and you can have some massive bits of jelly.
A cipher coming in, echo on the line. The voice won't be refined. It's different every time. Bringing you the memories you want to forget. I'm not finished with you yet. It was all so long ago. Come on, give us stillness. I
Playing in Bristol,
Yes.
Portsmouth.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just going to say them all. Cambridge,
Yes.
Manchester,
Yes.
Bedford, maybe.
Maybe.
That could be a really good one. Come to Bedford.
Scotland. Glasgow. Yeah.
Maybe Edinburgh too.
Edinburgh.
On tour, basically.
On tour.
On tour.
September,
On tour.
October.
There's going to be t-shirts, there's going to be jelly, there's going to be,
Carnage.
yeah,
I don't know.
It's going to be stillness.
stillness.
It's going to be activity.
Yeah. And actually, we're probably going to release an EP around the time of the tour. I think it's going to be called Stillness, and it'll be expanding on this idea of noise to block everything out and maximum calm. Yeah, and I think that links with the thing that we've done in the past as well, sonic healing, immersion therapy.
Yes. More of that, I think. Yes.
More of that.
More totally improvised music recorded in a studio, maybe.
Yeah, that's really fun. Like we really like improvising to images that people send in. And during the last release, Automatic Tendencies, people sent us pictures that they'd drawn from their dreams. And we basically projected the drawings that they'd emailed over and then jammed along to the drawings to offer sonic guidance to the wisdom that the dream offered. Anyway.
That was Travel Trouble by Firestations. It's taken from their brand new album, Thick Terrain, which is out on Friday, July 14th. And yeah, lovely to hear from Mike, Laura, and Martin there. Thank you for taking the time to answer all our very, very deep questions about your existence, about why you made the album, about who you are as people. Thanks. Nice to hear from them. And exciting. I'm excited to see them play. Like, I'm trying to think of the last time I actually saw them play. It might have been pre-COVID.
Was it the Lexington gig?
The Lexington gig, yes.
That had been it.
There was like a Christmas one, wasn't there, in 2019?
Yeah, because they did a E17 cover, because that's the neighbourhood they're all from, I assume.
Stay now. Bit early for Christmas chat, isn't it? Sorry, maybe we should get them to record that. What a great song. There's more great songs on their brand new album, Thick Terrain.